The KCLR Daily with Brian Redmond, on air, online and on smart speaker.
Broadcasting live this morning from Cafe Time at the Delta Sensory Centre, celebrating excellence in business. We're going to go global over the next couple of moments because we've had a number of messages, requests from the service users here at the centre. First one to the Owens family. Hi to Peg, Tom, Sabrina, Aisling, Martin, Craig, Alex and Alan. That came in from John Owens. Also a message from David Hughes for the Hughes family. Mary, Paula, Seamus, Jim, Gary and Sarah. To Eilish and Ken, Costello, Louise and Big Kevin. Also a big shout out to his cousin Sean O'Brien. That's from Richard Costello. And finally, hi to Mag and Eugene Byrne, listening in all the way from Australia. That's from their daughter Lisa. And we're going to continue. Brian O'Farrell, CEO of County Carlow Chamber. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome. Her Excellency, to come to you first of all, Carlow is more than just something that's to be loved, enjoyed and celebrated by the people of Carlow and indeed the people of Ireland. Talk to me about the global connections, particularly between the Netherlands and the Carlow region.
Well, I've just had a wonderful conversation with the Hedgehog and the CEO, and there's lots of ideas and opportunities that we now envision, because I'm really struck by the county approach and the results-oriented can-do mentality, and that's something that Dutch and the county Carlow people have very much in common. We don't want to just become friends, but we want to really team up on things that matter, on sustainability, on cycling, on the tech industry. You've got universities, team up in European programs, and I just feel very, very welcome, and we want to build on that. And there has been a trade mission to the Netherlands, I think, in 2019. So if we can have another one and bring a cycling fact-finding mission, trade mission here to Carlow, there's lots of ideas.
Well, I know it's not that long since your posting to Ireland began, yes. But if you haven't had a chance to actually see the Sensory Garden yet, I've got some good news for you, because yes. The guys here at the centre have just informed me that they planted this spring some tulips from your own country in the garden. Probably not in bloom just yet, but do take an opportunity to go out and visit. How important is international cooperation in terms of developing good, strong businesses that help local economies?
That is hugely important to us. It's the way we are located. We are the port to Europe. We're teaming up with European countries. We want to support big companies, but also small and medium enterprise to come over. And what I learned is there's great facilities in Carlow, lots of institutions that are willing to team up, and that's what we are here as embassy for, to do trade promotion, to make those international connections, and all of that is based on enthusiasm and the great team spirit that we want to bring across and that I very much feel here.
Jason Popplewell, Group Commercial Director with Stryve, winning the International Business Awards. First of you, congratulations on winning that award. You heard Her Excellency talk there at the moment ago about the importance of connecting not just big businesses globally, but small businesses. Stryve obviously is a very, very large international business, but those ground roots beginnings for every business, is it important in your opinion to begin thinking globally at least?
Well, yes. I suppose it's quite important to, we are saying sort of think global but act local. So the last thing you want to do is start off and start thinking you're going to, sort of conquer the world. You want to get your own house in order first. But I suppose steady and slowly. So there's fantastic opportunities globally, especially in in the sort of IT industry, and obviously the web makes it so much easier. We've got companies in Poland, we have two companies in England, we have a company in Australia, and we have a company in the States. But now, obviously, with the internet, it's so much easier to be in control and to actually communicate with all those companies. But yeah, I would say start small, get your house in order, and then plan, and then go global.
And obviously, as you travel the world as an ambassador for your own businesses, do you also feel a sense of responsibility to be an ambassador for the region?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. We're always flying the Carlow flag, and it's quite interesting, when you go to other countries and you say, well, Ireland, and then you would mention, well, actually Carlow, and people say, oh, Carlow, I didn't, So yeah, absolutely, we do feel a sort of sense of pride there as well. Yeah.
Brian Farrell, CEO of Carlow Chamber. How do you feel Carlow is placed to become not just an ambassador for Carlow, but an ambassador for the quality of business available right across the country?
Carlow's a county that we've always said it, and it's true to form, but we continuously punch well above our own weight in Carlow. In terms of business, so much, sport, everything. You think about, and we're talking international now at the moment, so many of the business that have started in Carlow, that have gone on, Netwatch, Burnside, some of those homegrown businesses that have really taken on, and they are well known now in so many corners of the globe. And we've got so many more. We could continue to sit here all day and list so many more of those companies. And it's not just in one particular sector. It's across so many sectors. Tech, engineering, even food. We'll be hearing from, some series later on, when one of the biggest Christmas pudding producers. And I remember sitting down, and I was saying it to Rebecca there when I was talking to her on the phone. I remember sitting down with her dad a couple of years ago, and he was talking about like 1 million puddings going off to Australia. And
because you're not talking about the people, you're talking about the product, of course.
And this is the thing, like for a small county, when you take, size, second smallest county in Ireland, but still, Carlow Town is the 14th largest urban district in the country, and the population. But what we produce and what comes out of here, and the reach, and that's why, as a chamber, we've always continuously worked to build and expand those relations. And we've a great relationship with the Dutch Embassy and the team there for going back a good few years now. We've worked with a few others, and like we mentioned...
One thing that came to mind, Brian, when I visited here this morning is the joining up of so many elements of society. You've got the cafe here itself, Cafe Time, trading as a commercial entity, I suppose. You've got the service provision of the Delta Sensory Centre itself. And then you've also got a thing that people of Carlow, the population that are living in this country, in this county, be they Indigenous or be they from other countries, can enjoy. How important is it to get the right balance on a county basis between commercial activity and being able to live and enjoy a good life?
It's vital because, every business, and if you look at it, and I spent 20 odd years in hotels, and without the people, the staff, a hotel is just bricks and mortar. That's it. But without the people that are the heart of it, it's the same in any business. And those people want to feel, that they're able to be back in their own communities and support in so many ways. And we've seen a lot of great support, from business to communities and that as well, where they live, in terms of the likes of supporting here in the Delta, to supporting sporting clubs. And that is so important because, we continuously talk about work-life balance. We couldn't achieve that if we didn't have places to be able to go and enjoy, even to appreciate the gardens here when we're not in work, or even, like this morning, we're saying to people, pop out and have a look at the gardens. If you haven't seen them before, it's an amazing space out there. And, and even to come in here at different times of the year, like for Christmas, for the lights, it's, you can just release and relax a lot more. And you can, but that's so important. It brings community into the workplace.
And Jason Popplewell, Group Commercial Director of Stryve, as I said, you've had the opportunity as your business has grown to travel the world, to see initiatives run in different parts of the globe. In terms of things that you've seen internationally that you think we could maybe implement here in Carlow or develop further in Carlow, where do you think the next steps for the likes of the Chamber and the various different county organisations should be focused?
Oh God! I mean, I'd love to say pretty
well,
loaded.
I'm not going to let you come in and just sit and enjoy the coffee when we've got.
It's a pretty loaded question. So, I mean, obviously, I'd like to say focus on cybersecurity and cloud. So, look, I mean, I can only speak from sort of our own business category, but I mean, cybersecurity and multi-cloud is growing at double digit. So. Cybersecurity is on the tip of everyone's tongues. Even yesterday there was news on a huge cyber attack. But yeah, I suppose I can only just sort of focus in on my own sort of category. But definitely there's huge opportunities in the tech world.
And, Holland, as we would have traditionally called it, the Netherlands as it's known now, has become, I suppose, a leader in terms of trying to balance economic development with also the awareness of the big challenge facing us all, which, of course, is the global warming situation. How do we strike that balance between the needs of tech industries, for example, and being able to maintain good environmental awareness also?
Well, that is indeed a challenge, particularly for a country that's relatively small in size and has a big population. We've got 17 million on a relatively small service. What is really important is to keep reaching out to people who feel they may be affected one way or the other by the changes that you want to bring abroad, across. And that kind of, not just public consultation, but to involve people already in a planning phase, so to make them understand that what is about to happen is not only, it's not to be feared because it's going to bring benefits. That, for instance, comes when you speak about cycle paths, of making pedestrian streets. We've got some very good results where that was really a success, but it took some convincing. But to be able to show off that it was a win-win for everybody, that's in the end what you strive for. But it's not easy because there's a lot at stake.
Well, Ambassador, I'm going to ask you to stay with us for a few moments'
Yes.
time, because I'd love to investigate what life in the Netherlands is like and how it compares to what you've seen so far in your time here in Ireland. But Brian O'Farrell, just to come back to you for the order of business of the day, we had the Carlow Chamber Awards a couple of weeks ago. It was an opportunity to present those awards. Today is a different opportunity. How's everybody enjoying it here at Cafe Time so far?
I think, I hope everybody's enjoying it. I know, as you said, yeah, the coffee is great, and that's kind of a benefit. But one of the key things we wanted to get out today is that opportunity to hear the stories behind some of the businesses. Because it is with the awards and the ceremonies, and it's great and it's important. But, companies pop up in front of you, and there's a lot kind of happening on the night. So, and that's where it's nice today to be able to take that moment back and to hear the story, because behind so many of our businesses, there's people with, some amazing stories. You've heard some of those already this morning, and there's a lot more we've got to follow. And that's what we really wanted to get out of today. So it's great that we have so many people here with us in Cafe Time this morning, and also that's why we wanted to work with yourselves to get it out live on radio and live streaming it, so we continue to tell those stories and share that out there.
And just finally, Jason, back to you. What's next for Stryve? Onwards and upwards, I presume?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've grown from sort of 2 companies to 11 now, 11 business units we call them. So about 3 or 4 of them are sort of small, just small SaaS companies. So we wanted to sort of steady the ship there. We've just purchased a company in Washington, which is an AWS premium partner. So that's the next sort of large focus for us. And we're setting up an Irish entity of that company, and so that's my big focus at the moment. We're busy trying to recruit for that. So yeah, that's our, and then it'll stop. I mean,
I'm not quite sure I believe you when you say that.
Yeah. So.
One question I couldn't not ask, I suppose, while we have you here. How long will it be before we are a truly cashless society, do you think?
Oh God. I think, I mean, there'll always be an element of it, for one reason or another. But just looking at the sign up there on your camera, it says, cards preferred. I was in a bank just off Stephen's Green a couple of weeks ago, and has no cash. I mean, if I told you that 15 years ago, you would have said I was mad. But I don't know. I'd say there'll always be an element of it, but I'd say it'll get up to the high 90s pretty soon.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break, but I am going to ask Her Excellency to stay with us for a couple of moments, if that's okay. Give her a round of applause. But for now, my sincere thanks to Brian O'Farrell and, of course, Jason Popplewell, Group Commercial Director with Stryve. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for giving us an international look at what Carlow has to offer from a commercial perspective. We are, of course, reminding you that our Guess Who competition is continuing. We have identified 2 of those celebrities, so all that remains to be won is that very large €900 jackpot. If you want to play along, just simply text the words Guess Who along with your name to our Dinner's Ready text and WhatsApp line 083 306 9696, and we'll be back with you live on air and online from Cafe Time at the Delta Sensory Centre in just a moment.
The KCLR Daily with Brian Redmond, on air, online and on smart speaker. With thanks to the Fairgreen Shopping Centre gift card, the perfect gift for all occasions. See fairgreen.ie. Did you hear KCLR Breakfast?
You can't stand backwards. on the stairs.
What?
You can't stand backwards on the stairs.
What do you mean you can't stand backwards on the stairs?
You can't stand backwards on the stairs.
KCLR Breakfast, back Monday morning from 7. With thanks to the Hoban Brasserie at Kilkenny Ormond Hotel, a glamorous backdrop to simply great food. See kilkennyormond.com.
Step into the festive spirit at Pembroke Kilkenny Hotel, home to Statham's Bar, Restaurant and Party Venue, located in the heart of the city and freshly nominated for the Restaurant of the Year Awards Best Casual Dining and Best Chef. We're a standout choice this festive season. Dine on a sensational festive menu crafted by Executive Chef Ken Harker, using top-tier ingredients from local suppliers. From intimate gatherings to workplace celebrations, our 3-course dinner at €49 and lunch at €37 are bound to impress. For private parties, our event space provides a stylish backdrop with delectable party food from €20 per person. Visit our website or contact our events team today and make it a jolly Christmas at Pembroke Kilkenny. Delicious dining and unforgettable parties await you.
Shh! Guess what? Santa arrives to Market Cross Shopping Centre on Saturday, November 18th for lots of fun and games with all our own festive and magical friends. Get ready to giggle and jingle. You won't want to miss it.
The move to electric is on, with Kia powering ahead in electric vehicle technology. Take the stylish Kia Niro EV, the multi-award-winning EV6, or the all-new EV9 with space for up to 7 people. Order your 241 model now to avail of flexible finance options, a free home charger, and a €500 super value gift card. T's and C's apply. For more, see kia.com.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
David Buggy Motors, your main Kia dealer in Kilkenny. See buggymotors.ie for more.
Nitrates cut could be delayed. For more in your Farmer's Journal, here's Paul Mooney.
We reveal why Brussels is considering a derogation reprieve for Irish farmers. Irish beef locked out of China again. Suckler cow exodus continues. Thousands of young farmers locked out of acres. Farmers could get up to €50,000 for pylons and farmland. Will there be a potato shortage this Christmas? Plus, our guide to how farmers can secure a mortgage.
All inside this week's Irish Farmer's Journal. You cannot afford to miss it.
The KCLR Daily with Brian Redmond, on air, online and on smart speaker.
You're very welcome back to Cafe Time here at the Delta Sensory Centre. We are joined by everybody from the Carlow Chamber, celebrating the Carlow Business Awards and excellence. And actually talking about excellence, I have asked, just for a moment, for Her Excellency, the Netherlands Ambassador to Ireland, Maaike van Koldam, just to stay with me for a moment. I wanted to talk a little bit outside of the world of business and the similarities between the Netherlands and indeed Ireland as a nation. Both countries that I would suggest punch above their weight, but what other similarities have you seen in your short time here in Ireland so far?
I think the similarities is that we are now also very internationally oriented. The Dutch travel a lot. Irish people have traveled a lot, but in the past also sometimes out of necessity. But it brings back a lot of a broad orientation at the world, and that is what we share. And what I'm really struck by here is the sense of community, which is really great. The moment you walk into this center, people link to each other, tell each other, and that is something that we have, that we may sometimes risk losing, because when we grow bigger, more industrial, the city's expanding, but it's something that is to be cherished, and that is also to be cherished at home.
And of course, your tenure has only recently begun.
Yes.
But what would you like to achieve over the time that you spend here in Ireland?
I would like to achieve there's more Netherlands in Ireland and more Ireland in the Netherlands. Within, of course, also the European contacts. So there's lots of European programs that offer opportunities that Carlow and other cities and countries can tap into, that we tap into. So that's basically what our embassy tries to achieve. We are very oriented at international trade, promotion, bringing companies together. I'm also very interested in cultural initiatives and also things like having an inclusive society. And that also struck me in these beautiful gardens, that there's lots being done to have everybody being included, also in maintaining the garden. So I really love the spirit of this whole thing.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for joining us here in Carlow. I'm sure it won't be your last visit to the area.
Yeah.
Her Excellency, the Netherlands Ambassador to Ireland, Maaike van Koldam, joining us on the KCLR Daily today. Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Of course, we've got to remind you of our Guess Who competition. I'm looking out